All right, time and temp here. 6:22, 63 degrees. Lights are on in the truck. I don't know if you can see this. It looks a lot brighter. Just finished this one up. Had a lot more planned today, but sometimes you just... Ooh, sorry. Just spun there. Hopefully I didn't tear that up too bad. This is quite the hill with the wet leaves, and my left rear was a little off the on the grass a little, and it just spawned going up this hill. You have to have quite the... Hear this thing purr. Just downshifted, but we're going up the grade. Okay. What are we talking about? We're talking about, number one, it's getting darker later, as you can see. Trailer back there looks a lot lighter on camera, but it's very dark, especially back there. When you get one of the trees break, it's lightening up, but it's still dark. You can see, I don't know if you can see that. The camera just adjusts. Now we're into the light. Our lights might flick off. That is a beast of a truck over there. Absolute beast of a truck. Anyway, my day fell apart, but I was able to get one in with a slope mow on this one, which is usually like every other time. Sometimes we do two in a row, sometimes we skip twice, depends, but probably be the last slope mow of the year for this guy. It's October 2nd today. We usually wrap up mid-October. His last cut last year was October 11th. But we're going to go a little later because 2 weeks brings us to the 15th, 16th, 15th. And then, I might even push it another half a week or whatever. You can see, I don't know if you can see, probably see that blinking, see the trailer lights and the reflection of the trailer gate right there. We got the Magnum lights working. That was out last week. Project, but anyhow, I'm all over the place. I did unfortunately step in some kind of, I don't know if it's dog or there's a lot of bear up there, but a very, very big pile of feces, so that's fun. That's when I just use the customer's hose on site. Hose, some sticks to go in the tread of the boots, get it out. You don't want to bring that stuff home. Last night and tonight, temperatures were in the mid. Last night was upper 30s, 38 it got to. Tonight I think it's getting 36, so a little more like mid 30s. So that's, season's changing. Might get a light frost, no hard frost, I don't believe. But if you look ahead, next week's temperatures this weekend, like later this weekend, today's Thursday, later this weekend into next week, like Monday, temperatures are in the mid 80s again. So we're not totally done with the heat yet, but we're slowly getting there. Anyway, this guy, I want to talk to you guys because this is communicating with customers, and he usually does not get a fall cleanup. He likes to do it himself. Basically, it's a lot of yard to mow. It is. It's a lot of yard to mow. I end up just push mowing it with a little Toro push mower. He's got a very intense slope. Guys in the past I know have used like a 48 walk behind, which would be smart most of the time, but sometimes. Honestly, I could have used the V-Ride today because it's been dry. But sometimes it's so wet back there that I'd be so nervous taking a 48 with the weight of those. Those things are like 650, 600 pounds. 650 with sulky, bulky, whatever. It's a lot of weight if you sink it to push it. You have to get something to pull it out, and it's just a mess. yes, it takes a little extra time with the Toro, with the little 22 push mower I do, but it works for me. It's not a big to-do. I think I mentioned that before, and obviously we charge accordingly. But like I said, this customer, he usually takes care of the fall cleanups himself. He's pretty good with everything. They have quite the garden that they do themselves. They do a lot of stuff themselves. It's really just the lawn that they need me to do. But they are in the film industry, and they're like producers. She's a producer. He is a producer as well, but he's just something else. I don't know. Whatever. But they're going to all these film festivals. They've been at film festivals all year. He was telling me, and it's going till like November, and then I guess whatever movie they're working on gets released in November. So then it should be quiet. But usually he takes care of all that stuff. He's now saying he might need my help to do that stuff, which that's a hell of a cleanup to do. So told him, let me know. Let me think about it. I'm like, worst case, we could do a big spring cleanup. Is what it is. But then so we were kind of talking about that, talking over, and then his wife came out separately, which is kind of awkward when you have the husband saying one thing. Well, he's kind of agreeing on the cleanup, but then the wife is like, oh no, absolutely need the cleanup. And then we need the garden weeded, and they have like one of these gardens that's like a lot of tall grasses, so that needs to be done. They have a lot of, so I'm like, okay. I'm like, send me an email, let me know exactly what you want. And they're like, okay, because that's a lot of work, man. That's great. It's great money, great potential money. I don't know if they know how much money they're looking at for all that. I did give them pricing on fall cleanup. I give them a price just lawn, and I give them a price to add in all the gardens too, if he wants all those cleaned up. In terms of just leaves, I'll blow them out. That's the price to blow them out. But we talked about that. So we'll see, because that's just shows you communication, and doesn't hurt. It takes 30 extra seconds to copy and paste your fall letter and email to somebody who you don't think is going to go for it, but hey, all of a sudden they do. And then while I'm on the fall cleanup topic, then you have people who are like, yes, count me in, and then they're like, plus, can you do this, and this? They have Japanese maples they want trimmed. They have other hedges and shrubs and whatever they want trimmed for the winter. And then I brought up to that particular client, he has a very, very long driveway, and I was like, hey, also thinking ahead to snow plowing, I always make sure that the driveways are in okay condition for me to plow. I made a rookie mistake my first year and went into some overgrown stuff and just plowed it, and it wasn't even overgrown, but it was growth to the edge of the driveway. And when you have growth to the edge of the driveway, you might be able to fit in fine on a dry, normal day, but you do not take into account that you get a heavy, wet snow, that stuff weighs down branches, whatever, that all hangs onto the driveway. And then you're scraping up the side of the truck, and, ask me how I know. So we also talked about taking care of that, which, I do that every year with him. So it's, I think he kind of expects it, but whatever. We got that conversation out of the way before winter. Like I said, that was actually late September that those emails went out. So that's good. While I'm on the snow topic, actually, a week from today, next Thursday the 9th, my truck and plow are going in for it's it's like just a pre-season kind of service. So that's so that'll be good. It's always kind of a pain to drop it. I gotta get a ride there, ride back. It's kind of out of the way. It takes the truck out. Basically, it takes the truck out at least 2 days because realistically Wednesday I'll be trying to like get this thing hooked up, move everything out of the way of the plow, hook this up, then take it and drop it Wednesday night. They'll have it all day Thursday. Then it's decently far, so I got to wait for my wife to get home from work to pick it up. Actually, yeah, that's Thursday. I was gonna say she's usually off Wednesdays, but you know, so it kind of kills 2 days, which is good that I'm kind of quote unquote balls to the wall today, because you know, next week it's looking to be a tough week in terms of between weather, the snow plow, just personal plans, that kind of stuff. But anyhow, that's kind of the deal right now. It's a pain in the ass, this driveway with the hedge here. See that? I think we've kind of lined it up beautifully. You gotta make sure you don't hit this edge as you swing. And then as we swing a complete opposite way, we gotta make sure we don't hit this Japanese maple. I'm gonna unload this here first, and then tuck this in somewhere else. But anyway, so just a lot of stuff. Luckily next week's a lighter landscape week, but it's still a very busy week at that. Anyway, keep up the hard work, guys. Push through to the end of mowing. We got 1 month. We wrap up end of October. Then it's fall cleanups all of November. Base.